WrestleMania 23. Hey, this was a pretty great WrestleMania. That's all. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like this video, subscribe to see more. See you next Wednesday. Blah, 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 blah. Just kidding. I guess I have to talk about it.
You're watching So Awkward. This is Freddy Krueger saying hi.
March 30th, 2008 at the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida. This WrestleMania is notable for being the first WrestleMania filmed and broadcast in high def. What a difference high def makes. I mean, I'm not going to tout the benefits of high definition because that would be insane. It's 2016. That's all that exists anymore. But when you do a historical view of a televised event like I've been doing, once you get to HD, it just changes everything. You feel like you're there. You can see the sweat on the wrestlers. You can see the faces of the people in the crowd in like the nosebleed seats. That just, the lighting is amazing. The colors, you can really appreciate the spectacle. So we've got ring announcer Justin Roberts making his WrestleMania debut. I liked him. I always liked him. He's great. And they opened pretty poorly with JBL versus Fit Finlay. Just two old guys past their prime who I never really liked to begin with, having a really shitty match. I don't even remember who won. I didn't even write it down. That's how little I cared about this one. Then we've got the Money in the Bank ladder match. John Morrison making his WrestleMania debut. Carlito making his in-ring WrestleMania debut. As you remember, he got beat up in like a promo by Rowdy Piper and Stone Cold. That was pretty good. Shelton Benjamin, CM Punk, Mr. Kennedy, MVP, and Jericho. This isn't the best Money in the Bank ladder match, but they're all good. They're all worth watching. They're all a lot of fun. They all have great wrestlers doing great spots. The winner of this one, CM Punk, again. I believe he's the only two-time Money in the Bank winner. Is that right? He's going to go on to great things someday. Just ask Mickey Gall. Then they bring out the Hall of Fame class of 2008. Let's see who we've got. We've got Jack and Jerry Briscoe, Gordon Soley, Rocky Johnson, the father of The Rock, and Peter Maivia, grandfather of The Rock, Eddie Graham, Mae Young, Ric Flair. I'm sure all of these people are deserving. Obviously some I like more than others. Ric Flair, Rocky Johnson, Peter Maivia. A lot of like behind the scenes people, like bookers and business owners. But anyway, good for Ric Flair. Well deserved. How did it take that long to get Ric Flair in there? I guess because, well, we'll get to that. Then we've got a Raw versus SmackDown match. And representing SmackDown was Batista, and representing Raw was Umaga. This match was okay. I literally wrote down okay. It was okay. This was a fine match. This is the kind of match you'd see on like Raw, and you wouldn't change the channel because it would be pretty good. I don't know if it was WrestleMania quality, whatever that means. But I like Batista. I always like Batista. Umaga's fine. It was, like I said, it was okay. It was fun. Batista prevailed, and SmackDown prevailed. Then we had the ECW Championship, which is weird. That's the first time that's been defended at WrestleMania. This, I guess WWE has officially bought every one of its competitors by this point. We've got champion Chavo Guerrero defending against Kane. I think this match was 30 seconds long, something like that. Kane came out, tombstoned him, I think, and then he won. I guess, I don't know if this was WWE making a statement about ECW, saying this is how much better the real company is than this little stupid Paul Heyman joke, but I don't know. It wasn't a great match. Then we have Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair in a retirement match. If Ric Flair, that's tough. That's a hard one to say. If Flair loses, he has to retire from wrestling forever. Spoiler warning, Ric Flair. Spoiler warning, Flair loses. This was like a series. This was a long storyline where Flair kept having retirement matches and he kept winning. And finally at WrestleMania, he's up against Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels just... It's a great match. It's a great match. I think Ric Flair was 50-something. I'm not going to say he looked amazing, but for like a almost 60-year-old, he looked pretty darn good. He was still in really good shape. He put on a great show. He took some amazing bumps. Just bravo, Flair. Thank you, Flair. Even though your name is impossible. Ric Flair. Ric Flair. What was so hard about that? Anyway, great match. And let's have a moment to commemorate the career of Ric Flair, a wrestler who many people would consider to be the greatest of all time. Woo! Then we go into the Playboy Playmate Lumberjack match or something like that. It's Snoop Dogg is the MC, and he brings out I don't know, all these Playboy Playmates and divas, and they have a lumberjack match, and I don't even remember who was fighting. I know one of them was Maria Kanellis, who I really like. I don't know if she's a great wrestler. I think she does a great promo. She's a great talker. And she's gorgeous. She's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. And she was in the news recently because, as we know, Donald Trump, who we have to talk about every WrestleMania Wednesday, he got into trouble for his quote-unquote locker room talk, which is talk I've never heard in any locker room, but I'm not a rich white man who hates women and black people and Mexicans and gypsies and Jews probably and whoever else he hates. But then then there was a story about how he fired somebody from from Celebrity Apprentice for using locker room talk, as he called it, and that was Maria Kanellis. So it all comes full circle. Everything comes back to wrestling. Everything.
It's sort of gross though, bringing that up. It's like disgusting. This is my boardroom. It's not a locker room. Maria, you're fired.
It's very ironic.
Then we go into the triple threat match for the WWE Championship. John Cena, Triple H against champion Randy Orton. This one was pretty awesome. You know I love a good triple threat match, and this was a really good triple threat match. This was a great triple threat match even. Randy Orton won and retained the championship. Next up, this is a weird one. Big Show versus Floyd Mayweather, the boxer. Big Show, of course, is the biggest athlete in the world. He's like 7 feet tall, 400 pounds or whatever. He's a giant. He's a legit giant. Versus Floyd Mayweather, who's like 5 feet tall, but arguably the greatest boxer of all time. That might be top five. There was a time in my life where I really enjoyed watching boxing, but I don't have HBO or anything anymore, so I don't. But Floyd Mayweather is a phenomenal athlete, just one of the fastest boxers I've ever seen. Just the way he ducks and weaves, he's amazing. Like, you can't hit him. So when they stand face to face, it's ridiculous because there's a giant versus this little midget. But if you know Floyd Mayweather, and once he starts to move, it's a legit fight. Like it worked. Like this was a really good fight. It was really fun, and Mayweather got his ass kicked. I mean, he got in some, like, he can punch a giant, but for the most part, he got his ass kicked. And then his posse got into it, and Big Show just killed everybody. So then Floyd Mayweather started beating him up with a chair, and then he got out some brass knuckles, and he knocked out Big Show with some brass knuckles. And it was just, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I think both guys did really well. I was impressed with Mayweather. He, you would think that a guy whose nickname is Money Mayweather, and when he came out to the ring, they showered like $100 bills in the crowd. Not a humble man, but he certainly was willing to be humbled, and he had to cheat to win. It was just a fun match. I don't know what the storyline leading up was, or why they had this boxer versus the wrestler angle again, but that's kind of a traditional thing that every now and again they have, like, the wrestler versus some kind of sports figure, often a boxer, like Muhammad Ali versus Antonio Inoki or whatever his name is. Maybe the best celebrity wrestling match I've seen at WrestleMania. Maybe the only good celebrity wrestling match I've seen at WrestleMania. Then we have the World Heavyweight Championship. Edge defending his title. There's a big spider over there. Anyway, Edge defending his title against The Undertaker. So it's the streak versus the championship. That's always exciting. I wrote down in my notes, amazing, underlined exclamation point. Great match. This was awesome. It was amazing. Underlined exclamation point. This was, I mean, obviously we know the streak is going to go on for many, many years to come. Many, many more Wednesdays. But at the time, I imagine many people thought that this would be the end of the streak. Edge, I believe, has never been defeated by The Undertaker up to this point. And just the match just was insane. It just went on so long. And it never, but not in a bad way, like it never got dull. It was just, I was on the edge of my seat. And even knowing that The Undertaker streak continues, there were moments where I had to second guess, or where I thought like Edge was really going to win. That's how good of the match this was. Where even if you know the outcome, you forget the outcome because you're just sucked into the story that they're telling. This, a front runner for best Undertaker WrestleMania match. We're going to get, after this, we're going to get into two of the most famous ones, which were his matches against Shawn Michaels. But boy, this one's good. Underrated. I don't even want to say it's underrated because everybody loves it, but I never hear it praised higher than the Shawn Michaels match. But boy was it good. I love Edge. I love The Undertaker. Edge, both of these guys would be my top 10, possibly even my top 5 of all time. Arguably their best match together, and they've had many matches together. Undertaker wins, obviously. So yeah, that's WrestleMania 24. A really good one. Other than, I mean, there was that opening match with JBL, which sucked. Then there was that weird Playboy match where the lights went out. But everything else was awesome. I would say everything else was, well, there was the Batista Umaga match, which was just okay. So we had 2 bad matches, 1 okay match, and then a bunch of awesome matches. So I give this one a double thumbs up. I really like this one. This is the best one I've seen in many Wednesdays. And I say check it out. And there was no Donald Trump. I think we're done with Donald Trump in WrestleMania. I mean, hopefully next month we'll be done with Donald Trump for good. I'm not obsessed. It's a big spider.